Warning: the following podcast may contain the following offensive words or phrases.
Shit. Fuck. Cunt. Pussy. Ass Tom Brady crack ass nigga!
Thank you. Welcome to the Where's Buffy podcast, where we're built for comfort and not for speed.
Hashtag shooting the five.
Yeah, it's the Where's Buffy podcast where we're built for comfort.
And not for speed. You be eating grapes in the market. You're stealing. And then you get home and you fuss out them babies. Talking about washing them fucking grapes. Dirty bitch.
Hey, what's up?
Yo. I am IlFam790, your social media choice, aka Don Anderson of podcasting, aka Captain Bro Albano, aka Brew Diamond Phillips, aka Ficky the Dragon Steamboat, aka Cheeto Santana, aka Pod Shampod, God's favorite podcaster, aka Potty Pipe. I'm here to podcast Chew Bubblegum. And I'm all out of reefer flavored Jamaican gum. Them niggas try to sell you reefer right off the plane. And my tag team partner.
It's your boy Fat Boy Diz, aka Dizzy from B-Mo, aka Diz DiGiorno, the most finger waviest, aka it's not DiGiorno, it's the penis, aka Johnny Cochran. If the glove don't fit, I will not hit. I'm not a normal nigga. I smoke cigars, I use rubbers, and sometimes I chew weed flavored gum. And
Hey, what's up?
I guessed. Comedian extraordinaire.
Ty Davis, that's who I am.
Ty Davis in the building. Thanks, man.
Y'all forgot my new
shit.
aka.
What's that?
The least finger waviest.
Yeah, nigga, this nigga is bald as a motherfucker. Got the whole Cuba Gooding Jr. head.
And it's cheap.
It's cheap.
Aerodynamic.
Nigga.
But man, you gotta wear a
But you
hat
ain't going
all
no-
the time.
You ain't going no faster.
Huh?
You not going no faster.
Oh no,
You shaved about a millisecond off your 40.
man, listen. You gotta see my 40 time in the pool. They gotta be bobbing and weaving.
Nigga. Nah, dog. But listen, you know what nigga, so, you know, big gang and all that bullshit, right? Like, first of all, wait a minute, my hair dry now. I ain't got no beard, right? But what I do got, you feel? I ain't gonna go bald, nigga. Bearded niggas go bald, nigga.
So you don't have a lot of waves looking like date rape.
Don't kid. Don't kid. I'm almost 40. Fuck that. I'm good. You about to go bald, nigga. you get to be 35, nigga. Nigga be like, what the fuck? Right.
The stupid part is mine don't go there.
What you mean?
Mine's fine right here.
Oh, starting the front.
It's up the front in them corners.
Yeah.
Man, it's stupid. Then when you start balding, like it don't. Imagine, like you would imagine, it should just go.
Right.
No, it'd be like I'm kind of here.
Right.
It'd be like, hey, like you on it, like you know, you got a firm in high school. You like, hey, you know what I mean? Your head, and then now they'd be like, and then it's like a whisper head in the front.
That's
It's not.
sad shit, nigga.
Yeah.
But no, yo, that's cool. Yo, fuck, yo, I'm glad you embraced being an old nigga.
Hey, oh man, I've embraced being an old nigga for quite some time. Quite some time, niggas
You
get
can get a weave. They doing man weaves now.
Get you a unit.
pause.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. I got a weave.
Okay.
Nah, it's dope.
Oh, you bald though.
Nah, I got hella hair.
See, that's
I
what I'm
got
saying.
major hang
That's
time.
what I'm saying.
Here's my question: do you open doors for men?
Nah.
Exactly. Some things for women, some things for men.
Nah, I mean, I think it's okay if a guy wears a weave. Now, if you do the weave beard or the fake beard,
Yeah.
Where does it
Knock it off.
stop?
nah, that's
Where does it
that's
stop,
just
though?
weird.
The top is weird. I feel like the top is weird for a dude, for a
Because
whole like
so
a.
some people have like, you know, like you feel better. Like you, it could be a self-esteem issue. Some people have alopecia. So if you're losing your hair due to a medical condition, you know, make you feel good about yourself if you can, you know, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, you know what? If the nigga want to get a fake beard, fuck it, get a fake beard.
My only concern is like, what you gonna do when it come off? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got 3 months, right? You got the
It's
good
like
glue.
the same thing. No, glue's not supposed to last for months.
I don't know how them niggas be head. That shit be staying up there.
Nah, like, see, I got on a closure right now. Like,
Right.
my glue, I gotta get my glue fixed tomorrow.
No, the nigga just got
Don't
that beard maintenance, nigga.
Don't zoom in. Don't zoom in.
Don't zoom. Yo, I wish it was a nigga just.
Zoom in. I flip everything in this bitch. Zoom in on my closure.
Man, it be chalk and microphones
I'm
everywhere.
I'm making it fixed tomorrow.
So,
Go ahead.
so we have you here.
Yes.
First of all, where you from?
Alright.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm originally born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Word.
But I was an Army
Vietnam.
brat, so we,
Okay.
do the hop around. But all my family, my kinfolk, are from Baltimore. So
Okay.
when my mama retired and came back to Baltimore, I came back here. So I've been living in Baltimore for, 18, 19 years now.
Oh, you from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's what people always say. They claim me now. Oh, you from here. All right.
You might well. So where'd you hop around from when you were?
So let me see. I was born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, or Fort Bragg, the military base. And then I lived in Baltimore for like a couple years when my mother had to deploy. Then I moved to Germany. I went to high school in Germany. Came back here to College Park. I went to college at the University of Maryland. And then I left there and went to Georgia. It's a small town called Hinesville. It's like 45 minutes from Savannah.
Okay.
And then I left Georgia and came here to Baltimore. And Baltimore is actually the longest place that I've ever lived, period, in my whole existence.
Okay. Now, would you say that like, did you get your comedic chops from like having because going all them different places and is that was a way to make friends or how did what I mean how that's
Yeah, I think for me that's what it was. It was like a defense mechanism because when you gotta pack it up and move, especially when you're kids, you gotta make new friends and you don't know how long you're gonna be there and have those relationships. So for me, like I would just be a social person, try to meet and make the connections with people right away, and like with being funny. It was like a way to make people laugh, make people smile, makes people comfortable. So I've always been a funny person, always been a social butterfly. Like I can't recall a moment where I was really, really shy.
Okay.
Right? So.
and then who would you say are your biggest like influences?
Comedian.
I'm sorry, comedian.
Well, of course, the queens.
Okay.
All of the queens of comedy: Monique,
Okay.
Adele Givens, Laura Hayes, some more. The Chandelier, one Chandelier. Robin Williams. He's actually a comedian and actor.
Rest in
Passed
peace.
away. Yeah. And Dave Chappelle. Moms Mabley.
The GOAT.
Of course, Richard Pryor, Fox's Wanda Page, Wanda Sykes.
Antelope County.
We forget about Wanda.
I mean, it's like it's so
She went to a
many,
rumble.
like it's so many people, but like definitely the queens, like just from their movements, mannerisms, Whoopi Goldberg's, like all of them, because you figure
People
the
forget
first time
Whoopi did stand up though. People forget
she was
that.
the first comedian that I ever like. She was the first African American female comedian I'd ever seen, and that was in the '80s on Comic Relief.
Word.
Yo, those are classic.
And
Yeah.
then the queens, of course, on Def Comedy Jam, and it was like the first time I had seen black women on TV doing comedy and just saying whatever they wanted. I was like,
Right.
that's so dope. But even then, comedy was the least thing on my mind at the time.
So tell us a story of your first time getting up in front of a crowd or group of people to do some comedy.
Man, so my first time that I ever did stand up, and here's the thing, because we can I'm gonna talk my shit.
Yeah, tell your shit.
I'm doing pretty well in my career right now, and you know how people are, like people like to take credit and they want to discover or say that they discovered things. So there's a lot of people that's saying, I did this and I did that, and I'm like, okay. So the truth, the reality of the situation is, I've always been a funny person.
Hearing it here.
Okay, I've always been a funny person, but the very first person that led me to the stage, that got me on the stage and touched the mic was a comedian right here in Baltimore. Her stage name is comedian Chris Styles.
Oh, yeah.
Her name is Crystal Tabaron. She's one of the hosts of What's So Funny Wednesday.
And from the AO podcast.
Yep.
That is correct.
Is it?
And so she and I used to work together, and we would just cut up at work. She was just cool. People was like, "That's my homie." And then one day, cutting up at work, and people were like, "Oh, y'all so funny. You should take this act on the road." And so we're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go do stand up, whatever." Well, I ended up leaving that job. I quit before I got fired. I knew I was about to get fired. And but she still worked at that job. So what happened was she ends up going and does a show somewhere. And her people recorded it and uploaded it to social media. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that's so dope. You went out and did your thing, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yep, now it's your turn. And I was like, what? I said, I thought we was just, we was just talking about this. I thought we was just playing with it. So she was like, all right, cool. I'm going to get you in touch with this guy. Did some shows with him, whatever. And boom. So she gets me in touch with a guy. That guy turns out to be Howard G. Kiss my bumper, right?
Word. Okay.
And, we talk on the phone. We meet up. He's like, oh, I like your energy. I like your charisma, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, cool. I got this show coming up. Here's these tickets. You sell these tickets. You can get some time on the show. I'm like, all right, cool. So I sold all the tickets. I had 20 tickets, sold all the tickets or whatever to my friends. And I'm telling them, all right, I'm finally going to do stand-up. Finally going to do stand-up. Everybody, you going to come see him do stand-up. And I was told to be there at 7:30. Show starts at 8 o'clock. I'm there at 7:15 because I'm super excited and I want to be professional. I want to be on time. He's like, all right, you are 8th in the lineup.
Okay.
All right, so 7 people going before you. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem.
Right.
I watched 11 people go in front of me. By the time it's time for me to take stage, it's 11:30 at night. At the time, I had carpal tunnel, so I had a brace on me. I didn't wear glasses yet, but my vision wasn't exactly great, but I was just ignoring it. I was not trying to accept that I needed glasses. And so I had kind of prepared something. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to talk about this, whatever. But by the time 11:30 came, I was so tired. I was in so much pain. I was so pissed off. And when I went on stage, he said my name wrong because at the time I was going by my government name. I had a stage name. So I was going by my government name, which is Tiana.
Okay.
So, but he said my name wrong. So I'm like, I've been here for 4 motherfucking hours and now you come on stage and I'm in pain and you gonna say my name wrong?
Right.
So I went on stage and I just abandoned everything that I said I was gonna do.
Right.
I just started talking about all of the shit that was going on. I was like, yo, I'm mad. Like, these niggas told me to be here at 7:30 and da-da. Telling the story. And then I'm like, man, I just had to move back home. I lost my man and lost my house, lost my car. And like, I'm telling them like all this shit. And when I tell you the crowd was cracking up, and I was like, y'all niggas ain't shit. Like, why y'all laughing at this?
Right.
Like, this is painful, whatever. And I think my first set, it's on YouTube. I think it's still on YouTube. It's like 6.5, 7 minutes long. Oh my God, this was almost 5 years ago.
Word. Okay.
And but it felt good.
Word.
It was therapeutic, and then I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like it was a crowd full of people, sold out. It was
Have
amazing.
you ever bombed though?
What? Listen, I'm not one of them comedians that does that. I have died 1,000 deaths. 1,000 deaths, or comedy lingo. I done ate a dick on stage. I done died on stage. I done bombed. Bombs over Baghdad. Crash and burn. I have bombed too many times to count.
Share story.
Shit. I've never been booed.
Never. Okay.
Never been booed, and not gonna wood because that can happen at any given time. But I've never been booed. But one of my worst bombing experiences, I remember this. I was doing an open mic at What's So Funny when it was at St. Mary's on 25th Street.
Okay. Shout out to Courtney. Shout out to her.
And I was just up there, just saying shit like. Because, when I started stand-up, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know anything about a set or whatever. I was just up there just talking, and it was crickets.
Word.
So there was no laughter. And it was just niggas looking, I'm like, all right, ain't none of the shit I'm saying is funny.
Right.
But I didn't develop jokes or whatever. That was one experience where it was just like, well, I said I need to go back to the drawing board and either not say any of that shit that I said, or I need to find a way to make what I said funny. But I've died 1,000 times, and I shout out to the people who've never bombed. But if you've never bombed as a comedian, like I can't. I don't know. I just feel like that's. I don't trust it.
I bomb on the show all the time. I understand. Real shit.
Eyes get big. And what?
Huh? What I do? You mean the energy's gone now? So yeah.
So what's that like? Like, so in that bombing, of course, that's where hecklers are born.
Well,
How do you deal with that nigga?
like with hecklers, I tell you what, like I'm an aggressive type A, personality, and I don't like nobody to play in my face. So usually, what I try to do is when someone tries me, I try to warn them. You sure this is what you want to do? This ain't what you want. You know what I mean? I try to help you because I'm not the one. I've been heckled before. The very first time I was ever heckled was by another comedian. And I burned his ass up.
This is here, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Burned him up. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, fuck him.
But let's just say he was a known name, had lots of followers. I think he might still have a lot of followers, but I don't think he knew better.
Okay.
So, but you know what?
It was Larry
You gotta
Lancaster.
learn. Nah, Larry.
You terrible, nigga.
Larry's my guy.
No, he good people.
But I don't think that this guy knew any better. One, because he was young. He was a young comic in the game.
Okay.
And I don't think he knew any better. So he was heckling me, and I'm like, oh, first of all, like as comedians, like a fraternity, it's like sort of like we're brothers and sisters. So there's certain stuff that we know that we don't like, we don't tolerate, and you just don't do that. So I burned his ass up. You got this work. You know who you are. He got this work. And then after the show was over, I pulled him up. I said, hey, don't ever do that again.
Right.
You never do that to your fellow comedian. He was, oh, I didn't know. I know you didn't know. That's why I'm telling you. Because you're lucky that this happened with me. If it would have happened with someone else, it could have went, different.
She gonna tell us who it was when we cut it
Nah,
off.
I'm not gonna do that.
When we cut it off.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
It's a secret safe here.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, 100% weird.
I'm not telling you.
Get that. So, what's how do you get from local stages to national TV?
Whew. So, I'm sorry, Dad. For me, like when I first started doing stand up, it wasn't I want to make a career out of this. It was just okay. Me and the homie said we were gonna do it. I did it, and I enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? It was therapeutic. It was a nice release. It gave me something to do. So I said, let me find the comedy scene. So I would hang out and go to different open mics, and I would meet other comics. But I was it started as a hobby for me. So I just enjoyed doing it, enjoyed being on stage, and then I was like, you know what? Let me start to really learn about my craft and what I'm doing. So I would start to study. I would, I'm an avid reader, so I would get self-help books and how to write jokes and this and that, and not realizing that some of the stuff I was already doing was helping me to become a better comedian. So once I started to make my name here at home and people start booking you and doing your shows, then it's like, okay, now you got to go out of town.
Right.
So like I would do stuff like go to DC, go to the open mics in DC.
Right.
Or if I had some friends that were already, veterans or OGs in the game, if they was going somewhere traveling, I would roll with them.
Right.
And they would say, hey, I brought my peoples with me. Can they get 5 minutes? So it'd be something like that. So basically like you do this 3 to 5 minutes so they can see you, and then maybe they'll bring you back. So, just traveling, networking, and doing it that way. And then the next thing you know, people start to call you, hey, I saw you at such and such, or I met you at the such and such.
Right.
Can you come and do this? And like, I did that. Like, I would go to DC, I would go to Virginia, I would go to Philly, and just be like, oh, let me, And next thing I know, they're holding auditions for, audition showcase for Heart of the City.
Word.
And I was invited to do the showcase, and along with 28 or 29 other comedians from Baltimore, and the showcase was over 2 nights. It was like 14 on one night, 15 on the other, or something like that. And we all
Where was this at? Was this in Baltimore?
It was at the Motor House in Baltimore, North Avenue.
Okay.
So it was over 2 nights. It was a Wednesday and a Thursday last year in April.
Okay.
And we all got 5 minutes. They recorded it, and they sent it off to Heartbeat Productions, Kevin Hart, Joey Wells, Harry Ratchford. They looked at it, they made their decisions, and they did that for 7 other cities. And then we just waited for the calls.
Word.
And I got the call, and I was like, turn up! About to be on TV on these bitches. I was real excited.
And the shit is fun as shit. And so every time I've seen you, and I've seen you quite a few times, the cougar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really a cougar, or that's some joke shit?
All right, so here's the thing, okay? Because I feel like y'all in my fucking business.
Yeah, real shit.
No, that's the crazy thing. When I first started doing stand-up,
Right.
I was just talking about whatever was trending that week, whatever was happening. And one night I went to an open mic, and I started to talk about a relationship that I had with a man that was younger than me.
Word.
And I think he was, oh my God, how old is he? I think he was like 7 or 8 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Not 7 years old.
I thought he was, alright, nigga, I thought he was like 17.
Whoa. Whoa,
17
chill.
and shit.
He was a grown-up man.
Yeah.
I think he was like, when I first met him, he was like 23. But when we started to be a thing, he was like 25. But I was at that open mic, and I was talking about the experience of dating the younger man.
Word.
And it was the very first time I have ever ran that material, and people they were dying laughing. It was like at this spot, I think it used to be called the Haven, over there by Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was over there. I think Cool used to have Cool Sundays or something like there, and some other people had it. Like, they changed the name. You know how Baltimore is. They changed the name to shit all the time. So, but it hit, like, they was loving it. And I was like, I don't know what I just did, but I need to stay in this pocket right here.
Right.
So what happened is, as I'm trying to develop a set, I realized that material, that 5 minutes that I did, they liked it. So I started to build on that. So I started to talk about my experiences from dating that younger man, and then how younger men approach me, and just the differences for me, because I used to, as a preference, date older men. Always dated older men, and then went to a drastic change and just started dating it, because I would never date a younger man before I was like,
Right.
get out here, little boy. And,
Right.
And that's like the psychology of what a cougar goes to. No, you're a child, you're a baby. No, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And then one day I was like, let me see what this little boy talking about.
Right.
And I let the little boy take me out, and I had fun.
Right.
Let me tell you something. That young man, I'm not going to say his name, because he's not about to get famous off me. But he was
Ralph.
the first guy. He was the first guy to ever introduce me to Meek Mill's music.
Word. His name is a something Tay, like
Something
Deontay.
Nah, it's not that. It's not a Daquan, Deshaun.
Or
It's not none of that. Like, you would
Davon.
never guess it. And I'm not going to say his name. Like, I used to say his name in my set years ago, but I'm not doing it no more. Because niggas is not about to get famous off some shit I said about them.
Right.
And you're also not about to sue me off some shit that I said about you. So
Right.
it's all speculation. But, you know, that young man introduced me to Meek Mill's music. I remember the first time, like, I'm going out on a date with him and my girlfriend. I was like, what am I supposed to do with a 25-year-old boy? Like, what do we talk about? Like, what is... She was like, just have fun and whatever. So I remember when we went out on a date, he said, you look like a bag of money. And I was like, what? Like, I was offended. I was like, first of all, I don't...
That shit. Yeah.
But I'm an older woman. So in my mind, I'm thinking a bag of money is like the round bag with the fucking...
With the dollar sign on
it. With the
gold
wrinkle, you know what I
coins
mean?
on top.
And I'm like, but I don't look like that. And he was like, nah, it's a good thing you look good. And I was like...
You're
oh.
desirable. Like
I was like, all right, thank you. And then
Young man
he
was giving you
playing
bars.
Like, he was playing like a mixtape or something. I was like, oh, this is cool. Who was that? And he was like, Meek. He said Meek Mill. And for years, I called him Meek Mills.
Oh, I still did.
Oh yeah, the
Because it was
nigga
like
ass.
Owens Mills.
Yeah, Giants. Don't have Giants.
Okay, so I put an S on. So
Yeah.
that was the very first time I ever heard Meek Mill. So when he told me I look like a bag of money, and then he plays Bag of Money, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know that guy. That's Rick Ross. And oh, okay, I know. So it was like, it was just fun. And it was like, oh shit, I'm learning about young nigga shit. This is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I can connect with the youth. And my daughter was probably, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years younger than him. So I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
Right.
I know Rick Ross, you know, and so you know, that's how it was. But so the answer to the question is, I do date younger men.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That is the real thing. I date younger men.
How'd you start the radio show?
The stand-up comedy filtered me into everything.
Okay.
So I was just hanging around at a comedy show and at Arena Players. It was Cleon.
Cleon
Used to do the Monday nights. And
he cut my hair before. That was crazy. I was like, that's the nigga that cut my hair. I remember him.
focus, nigga. We
My
talking
bad.
about me.
Focus,
So-
nigga, we talking about me might be the name of the episode, by the way.
Focus, nigga. We talking about me. So, but we was at Arena Players, and I had saw this guy, right? And I knew who he was. So the guy's like, "Ain't you a comedian?" And I was like, yeah. He was like, when you go on stage? And I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I had never done the arena play. I had never done Cleon's show at the time. And I was like, I don't know. Now that guy was DJing the show, and that was Jay Claxton from 92Q.
Okay.
And he has a show on DTLR, and Cleon was on the show on DTLR, and Ray Diva, you know Ray Diva, comedian, female comedian.
I'm probably seen him.
So she was on, so they were all on the show, whatever. And one night I had a show with Ray Diva, and I went to the studio and waited for them to be done so we can go to the show. And then like maybe a few days later, me and Cleon was supposed to shoot to DC because we was going to do a show.
Okay. And
it was the same situation. I'm waiting in there, and then Jay was like, "Why you sitting in the the green room by yourself? Come in, the studio." So I just go in and I'm just looking around and I'm like, "Oh, what's that shit? What does it do? Okay, microphone." I'm just looking, and then I don't even know what the topic was, but whatever the topic were that they were discussing, he was like, "Ty, what you think?" Shoves the mic in my face, and I'm like, well, this is what I think. And, it was just like we just had a dialogue going on for us, and it was cool. And then I think maybe a week or so later, I was like, hey, I'm off today. What y'all doing? I was going to come through and fuck with y'all. And I did that. And then some time went by, and Jay called me and was like, hey, you ain't been to the studio in a while. Where you been at? And I was like, nigga, I don't work there. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I was just hanging out. And he was like, nah, come. I'm like, all right, cool. So I would go, and at the time I was still working full time. So I would go there when I got off work and just hang out on the show, and then I would just do research and look at different topics and what people were trending and talking about. And then next thing you know, I am a co-host on his show on DTLR Radio.
Word.
And I did that for, let me see, from April 2016, a little over a year. And the opportunity opened up for the midday show, and I threw my hat in the ring. I was like, hey, what's up, niggas? I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but I'm interested. And
you know what's crazy, though? Like, everything I see, it seems like it's been a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been, like, Chris Styles and then Jay, and then... But now, let's talk about the CD stuff. I seen them lives. So, like, tell us about some of the hate and shit that be going on.
I mean, I think it's just normal hate, you know what I mean? And the thing about the hate is, what I found is the hate sometimes don't really have anything to do with me. It could be the insecurities of that person. And I can understand how it might be difficult to see me so young in my career for someone who's been at it 15,
that's how they're doing Tiffany
20
Haddish
years.
and shit, yeah.
But Tiffany Haddish ain't new. And that's the thing about stand-up comedy or any thing in general, which I'm going to talk about it on my own goddamn podcast. Since we tell people stuff, I got my own podcast.
We the first guest, nigga, fuck that.
I mean, that's what my second episode is going to be about.
Oh, you already? Oh, you been recording?
Yeah, I started last week.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I appreciate that. Okay, it's called Lost and Found. And it's on Anchor, Apple, Google, Podcasts, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. Yeah, it's on 4 different streaming platforms.
That's what's up.
So what's the format?
Well, I kind of run it like my radio show. So the first episode I did on Sunday of this week. Yes, so August 11th is when it came out. That's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy belated birthday.
Leo season on these hoes. But the first episode was 15 minutes, and I wanted it to just be, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what you can expect.
Word.
So I didn't do any segment breaks. I didn't do any insert of music, any audio files or anything like that. So I've been producing my next podcast episode, which I will publish on Sunday. And this one's going to be a little more structured in the format. It's an intro. It's going to be different segment breaks. They're going to have titles and all of this stuff. So I'm excited about it.
That's what's up.
But the hate, the haters, sometimes people they're mad that they're not succeeding and they're not getting what they're getting. And my whole thing is, don't look at me.
Right.
Don't look at me. Like, I see tons of people getting stuff, and every now and then I fall into it. I be like, oh, that nigga ain't even funny. Why do they have? And then I be like, you know what?
That goes on a lot with comics, no matter how successful.
But I be like, focus. Don't pay attention. Because you never know what somebody's, journey is, what they've been through. You never know what someone's walk of humility has to be. Right. So I stopped focusing on what somebody else is getting, and I was like, now there have been times where I will see somebody that has something, I'll be like, yo, that's dope as shit. I want to do that. And then I will do the work so that I can put myself in a position to do that too, but not hate on them for having that. I just got to work harder, grind faster, be smarter. That's what I have to do. So, but yeah, you know, people are hating this motherfucker that's gonna watch this. I hate this bitch. I don't care. I'm not gonna lose any sleep tonight. I'm gonna sleep well. Hey, what's up? So, you know, but it comes with the territory with anything. People gonna hate on you. They not gonna like it.
No bullshit, man.
I don't care.
So what kind of stuff are you talking about on your podcast?
Everything. It's a completely different format from the radio show. So the radio show, of course, has music. So it's more music than talk. On radio, you know, it's a grandma-friendly audience because it also broadcasts in the stores. So sometimes there can be kids in there, you know, to your grandma in the store. So the content is grandma-friendly. There's no profanity. It's clean music. And on radio, I'll talk about whatever's trending. So like the Jay-Z thing, everyone's talking about that. Everyone's talking about the Meek Mill documentary that's on Amazon Prime Videos. Everyone's talking about that. So those are the segment breaks that I ran today. And then the whole Cardi B, you know, Joe Budden, you know, the Nicki Minaj thing, that beef. So I talk about everything, pop culture, music, fashion, whatever we're talking about. But my episode on Sunday is going to be titled The Grind.
Okay.
And it's about just this, the grind. Like, people see some of your favorite rappers, some of your favorite singers, actors, they didn't wake up, boom, a millionaire and a star. You know
Most
what I mean?
of them didn't.
So it's like Drake started on a show on Nickelodeon or Disney, I think it was, playing a kid in a wheelchair. He was acting, and really what he wanted to do was make music.
Right.
And you know, all of those people. So the episode is titled The Grind because now I'm in a space in my career where like a lot of the newer comics will ask me questions like, do you have any advice? And I'm like, I need to find a way to centralize a location for where people can go and get it. Like, and I don't like my time to be wasted. So sometimes I feel like people just ask you a question because they don't really want to know any advice or how you made it. They want you to tell them exactly what they can do.
People want a magic pill.
Yeah, you want a shortcut.
Yeah, right, right.
So I studied, I worked hard for this, and I still have a long way to go.
Right.
Like, I still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But the episode is just going to be about my journey through the entertainment industry, what's trending and going on, but it's uncensored, uncut, unfiltered. I say what the fuck I want, and I ain't got to worry about somebody running in this fucking studio like, oh my God, you can't say that. What? I didn't say, I said
Cut
ass.
on mic.
Got on mic.
I said ass. No, I pressed the buttons on my own mic. I said ass. You can't say ass? Oh, I ain't know. All right, sorry.
Well, shit.
I
Since
need
we
this
touched
ass.
on it, that was gonna be sports in the buff, but fuck it.
What, can I say ass?
No.
Oh, you can say lick, ass, dick, cunt, pussy, shit, fuck.
I don't want to say any of those words.
That's a lie.
Thank you.
I've seen your set. So we do a segment called Sports in the Buff.
Okay.
Diz on Sports, aka the Not So Skinny on Sports, a stripped down version of our normal sports segment. NFL is back. Ed Reed's in the Hall of Fame, best safety ever,
That's pretty dope.
best free safety ever. So Rock Nation partners with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This is everywhere. You got motherfuckers loving it. Jay-Z is part of this deal. You got motherfuckers that hate it. What y'all thoughts on that shit, man?
So what exactly is it? That's the first thing niggas need to know. All niggas see is a headline with Jay. They see Roger Goodell
You see Roger the Dodger.
sitting there next to each other. But what is the official title of Rock Nation?
I think Rock.
So Rock Nation is going to be in charge of booking the live entertainment for the Super Bowl for those major events, and then also the social justice initiatives, things that they think that they can do better to help make the NFL more culturally aware, culturally sensitive, diversified. Okay, because that's the thing. Because apparently we need to tell grown-ups how they should treat humans.
And football games is when we should.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the same thing with anything. Half of the people hate it, half of the people love it. So the people that hate it is because not too long ago, Jay-Z was, oh no, I don't fuck with the NFL. I'm not doing nothing with them. He even says it in the song Ape Shit with him and Beyonce. I said no to the Super Bowl. I don't need you. You need me.
Right.
And then it was, I stand with Colin Kaepernick, and he took a knee, and I'm with him. And then it was, hey, what's up? We're cool now, even though Colin Kaepernick will never work in the NFL again. And then he convinced, or he suggested, that some artists not perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, he defended that by saying, I didn't say he shouldn't do it. I was just saying that, you had a hit record, you had a really good year, and you shouldn't play second fiddle to Maroon 5.
That was Travis Scott.
Jay-Z has been in the game long enough to know that Maroon 5 is a huge deal.
Right.
huge deal in the mainstream pop culture. Shout out to Adam Levine. In my mind, we go together sometimes. So,
Ew.
no, he's hot.
It's too many caveats.
Yeah, I
Too
don't
many
care.
caveats.
I don't discriminate. White, black, whatever. I'm with the shit. So
I can smell the
I
bologna
think
now.
half of the people were like, "Yo, you like a couple years ago, you were saying you was this way and you were that way." Here's another thing. I'm playing devil's advocate. You are entitled to change your mind. You're entitled to
True.
change your opinion. You could also very well be saying, "Hey, you know, we got a problem with this, and I can't fix it from the outside. Let me fix it from the inside." So it could be the same reason that a kid that grew up in a shitty neighborhood, getting the shit beat out of him by the police, you know, seeing all kinds of stuff being done by bad cops, and then he grows up and joins the police force, and his friends are like, "Yo, what the fuck? You saw what the cops did to us when we were kids?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm trying to change it from within." So it could be looked at as that, or it could be Jay-Z saying, "Listen, I got $1 gajillion and I'm trying to get multi-gajillion dollars. Fuck all that shit y'all
Gajillion,
talking
That's what I
about."
think it is.
So it could be a number of things. For me,
Dude, look at
everything-
Jay-Z's history.
everything's a money grab.
Owner of the Nets, right? But then we find out later it's like less than 1%, right? Got all them people out of their houses with their eminent domain, and you basically started Brooklyn gentrified.
Yeah, he helped with the gentrification.
You helped gentrify Brooklyn. You the Barney shit. Oh, we gonna take over Barney's. No nigga.
Doesn't matter. Barney's going bankrupt. Won't he do it?
Well, yeah, but then,
Thank you, Lord.
But guess what he did? He put his shit in Barney's. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, everything Jay-Z does. If you're looking at Jay-Z to be this leader or to be Malcolm, Martin, he's not that. He's a nigga with money and he does some philanthropic shit. I'm with that. But Jay-Z ain't who we should look to as the paragon of activism.
I mean, it may not be who we should look to, but the reality is that is who a lot of the masses do look to.
I think he's put those pants on quite a few
So,
times in the last
you
couple
know.
of years.
No. He Donald Sterling has won that fucking NAACP award too. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
What I'm
crackers-
saying is, though-
racist motherfuckers give money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't look at Jay-Z's act. Jay-Z to me is
So-
a billionaire. He's just a
But
billionaire with
Jay
brown skin.
has persona wise over the last 2 years or so. Once he did 444 and the things he's done in between, the way he released 444 and he had those videos where it was just a bunch of black men in the room talking about their feelings, and he has been putting on them activist pants. Like, nigga, this is what your old man act as a rapper. If that's who you're gonna be, that's who you're gonna be. My thing is, the one thing I've always looked at Jay is, and even Jay's definitely not my favorite rapper. I've always said Jay's probably been the most successful rapper as far as being on purpose. Like, everything he's wanted to do, he's done it, right? But he's also been a chess player his entire career,
Yeah.
right? So when we see him make a move like this, why all of a sudden would the masses believe he started playing checkers today?
Nigga, this is not. This shit it was never about black people. It was never about Colin Kaepernick. It was always about Jay-Z advancing Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's gonna be some. Trump has given money to black causes, and we know fuck Donald Trump. We know these niggas are cracking racists, right?
Him and Hulk Hogan.
We know. You know what I'm saying? But for Papa John probably done gave money. I'm talking Papa John Schmatter. I ain't talking about the company. He probably gave some money to some niggas before. He don't like niggas. So what I'm saying is that people do things to advance themselves. And this is just another example. Jay-Z advances. I don't have no problem. Jay-Z is the best rapper alive ever. That's my opinion. Jay-Z is a businessman, not a I'm a businessman, not a businessman. You feel me? Like, Jay-Z is the truth. But I'm not gonna look to Jay-Z for my social justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. There's other people out here that are better examples and that are more active and that really have black people in mind over Jay-Z.
But see, a person is smart. A person is aware. A person is intelligent. People are fucking stupid.
That's a fact.
So, you know what I mean? So, while you have that sense of, consciousness to discern what you want to look at and what you want to be influenced by, there are people that says, oh, Jay-Z said we fucking with the NFL now? All right, cool, we fucking with the NFL. You know what I mean? That's why people are called influencers now, because they have influence. I have influence. I have a small following, but I have an influence over the people who listen to me, who like me, and who fuck with me. Like if I say some, like, and I've said some shit and done some shit that came back and has bitten me in the ass. And when you are a public figure, when you are out there, no matter how big or small your platform are, you have a responsibility to the people that fuck with you.
Right.
So that is why sometimes I have to play chess with some of the stuff that I do. I have to do shows with people I don't fucking like, people I want to punch in the face.
Who?
But no, we're not doing that. What's wrong with you?
You gotta reach for it. You got.
No,
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I'm.
See, I'm a grown up.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm immature.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm sorry.
can't
I mean, I'm
think of
immature as well. But
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you.
I'm not gonna fuck my career up, bro. They know who they are.
My nigga.
But you know what I mean? Like that's the point. Like it's
nigga.
about making decisions, making choices. Like I might not like you, I might not fuck with you, I might not want to rock with nothing that you got going on. But if we are booked on the same show, on the same lineup, I'ma show up, do my time, be funny, shake hands, kiss babies, and then I'm out. I don't have to ride home with you. I don't have to get my nails done. We don't have to kick it. I don't care about your kids, your family. I don't give a fuck about none of that. It's a business. So this could be one of several things. This could be, look, I don't give a fuck about these NFL niggas. I don't like the way they treat us, but I'm going to get this motherfucking bag, and then I'm going to do this. Or it could be, I really want to get inside the system and try to fix it from within. It could be a number of things. What it won't be is something that's going to keep me the fuck up at night. I don't give a fuck.
Yo, shout out to Kill, who's been on our show, went to Poly with us and shit. It's because I wanted to make sure I gave him his proper due.
Akil what?
Damn, I gotta think of his last name. He went to Poly, graduated in.
He went to Poly.
Yeah, probably a kill. You know that nigga.
No, I didn't go to school in Baltimore. No, I know a guy named Akil, and I thought.
But he was on our show, if you remember. This is his story. Can we name one person who changed something from who's the real spook beside the door, who went in, joined a elitist class, and changed something for us? Can you name one motherfucking nigga like that?
You can name a lot of people.
No, you can't. Name one.
That have changed. You mean that has
changed some shit?
within
You know how
the
people say
system?
change it from the inside. Like who's done it for us?
So for
I
black
guess
people,
I'm
because
just-
I don't know if I can name somebody. I can't name somebody black, but I can name an example of it happening.
Okay.
So Life is Wrestling. Is a nigga named CM Punk who went in wrestling and cried about everything that went on. He said, like, wrestling should be indie, it should be this, and at the end of his contract, the nigga just stopped going off the script,
Okay.
and started doing what they call shooting, just telling the truth and whatnot, right?
Word.
And they cut his mic one night, and he went out that way though, like I'm just gonna shoot as long as my contract goes. I'm gonna say what I want to say. After he left, he did a podcast and spilled all the beans on everything he was angry about and talked about everything that was wrong. And what happened after he left, there were weeks where people were still chanting his name, and wrestling was forced to kind of change what they was doing.
I kind of meant like social justice and like black rights.
But
and shit like that.
what I'm saying is, what happened is there were issues with like wrestlers, healthcare and trouble, like the way they were treated.
Mm-hmm.
And when he left, and the things he changed because he was there, and because he left with the way he did, niggas, they were forced to change because of what he did and what he did after he left.
Word.
So he changed it
that's-
from within.
I guess what I meant was like black, like a black.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't think of an example off the top of my head because I don't care.
I'm just saying, like everybody says you got to change it from within, but ain't no nigga ever went to
you
a
could.
police station and a police department and changed. Nigga,
You could, like-
nigga, they still killing niggas.
Listen, everybody had everybody. This is what I believe. Everybody has something in them that is uniquely gifted upon them. Right? Everyone has a purpose. There's all a piece to everything that's happening, and whatever change, it's the ripple effects of what it is that you do. So. Maybe Jay-Z feels like, this is something that's going to help. Maybe he don't give a fuck. Who knows? We'll never really know. You know what I mean? For me, there's things that I want to see a change in, like in comedy. There are things that I want to see a change in.
Word.
Like the whole shit with women aren't funny. Women that are pretty aren't funny. Only ugly women are funny. Like, I'm telling you, this is the thing. And if you look at the dynamics of most comedy shows, it either has one woman or no women, period. So if there's a show that just have all men on the lineup, it's just called a comedy show. But if there's a lineup that has all women on it, it's typically called all-female comedy show. It's like, that's a novelty. No. I know a lot of female comics that'll run circles around niggas. That's something that I want to change. So instead of me complaining, crowd like, I don't like how they treat women comics. Nah, I just dust niggas off when I get on stage.
You know what? I think that, like, my mother loves Samoa, but I'm not a big Samoa fan because I can't relate to her subject matter. Not that she's not funny, but I just don't relate to
tread
her.
lightly, motherfucker, because I love
No.
the chandelier. I love Samoa.
Like she's in there.
The one true chandelier.
She's in there cracking up. And I'm like, that was funny.
But comedy is subjective.
Yeah, like I can't relate to all these white comics out here. I like some white comics, but some of them.
Like who? Name one white comic you like.
I can't think of his name. He came to Baltimore and he stood like this. He said, "Your city smells like piss." And then from that point on, I like Robin Williams. I like George Carlin. Was probably one of the top 10. I'm not a Seinfeld fan. Let me see.
No.
I like the show, but Seinfeld's stand-up was it's cool. What is your problem?
I mean, I'm just the only reason I asked that is because comedy is subjective. Like there are people that like I'll hear people say, "Yo, that motherfucker funny as shit," and I'll be like, "Really? Hey, if that's what you're into."
That's what I'm saying. I don't really fuck with white comics like that. You know what I'm saying? But I used to like Dane, whatever his name.
Dane Cook.
But he got like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's only certain ones I like, but I can relate to Kevin Hart when he tells stories about his father and shit. I can relate to your comedy with the cougar shit because
you hit young men too.
That was good, ho. Boy, bitch, scallywag. No, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can relate to black comics, but that was funny.
That
Fuck
was
y'all.
funny.
That was funny.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
That was good.
That bitch can't do nothing else.
But basically, to get back on track, there are things that I want to see change within the entertainment, within the comedy space for black women, for comics in general. And I can't do shit about that outside complaining. But I can do it when I'm inside. You know what I mean? Like the whole Me Too thing. That's a thing. And it has been a thing for a long time. And it's happened to me more than once by countless.
So a motherfucker, Louis C.K. you like, come in.
Hey yo.
No one's
Louis
come on me.
I said, did it come on somebody? Wait a minute, I said, to pull his dick out. I thought he pulled his dick out.
But I mean, like, when I say that, like, the Me Too movement is not just about that. It could be sexual harassment. It could be comments. You know, there have been times where I've been booked on shows. I show up to the show, and because my name is Ty Davis, maybe they've never met me before. They automatically assume that I'm a dude.
Tyrone Davis.
And then when they see me, and then when they see me, it's like, oh, you're a singer? No, motherfucker, I tell jokes. I tell jokes too. You know what I mean? So there's already a level of inherited disrespect when it comes to a woman, when it comes to a black woman comic. So, but that's a thing. There used to be a time back in the day where a dude in the office could smack a chick on the ass and say, "Have a good day, sweetheart." You can't do that now. Like now it's causing people to be accountable for their actions. But it took for somebody to get inside the system, to talk their shit and to tell their stories. So I mean, you know, it kind of goes back to the Jay-Z shit. Maybe he feels like he gonna fix some shit. Maybe
Jay-Z trying to make some money.
I want to make some money.
You know what
I'm saying?
I guess what? I don't hate Jay-Z for that, but Jay-Z trying to make some money.
Hey, I don't give a fuck. Guess what? I'm not gonna get none of Jay-Z.
Nope.
It's kind of.
I still watch football.
It's kind of. That's the thing.
Yeah. I'm a Ravens fan.
Is you have the niggas who didn't watch that are mad at Jay.
Who is that?
I was just being nosy looking on the slide.
That's John.
Cuz, what's up, cuz?
Focus, bro. What you saying?
So.
Cause I gotta go. Cause I got a little young tender.
Whoa!
She gotta move.
Gotta
move. I get it.
I got a cub waiting on me.
Wait a minute. The cub. Oh, Cougar Cub. All right. Oh.
I couldn't bring him in. This is business. Mama working.
Simba.
Yeah, Simba. That's what I'm doing.
Jeez. I have no idea what I was gonna say at this point.
I don't know.
No idea at all.
My bad. We got distracted. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, but that's it's you got the niggas that didn't watch who are like, nah, you can't watch. Now you can't work with them. And then you got the niggas that watch. It's so many. Them niggas like for the most part, I don't care. And then it's everybody cares too much, and it's way early to like react.
Well, I didn't boycott the NFL.
I didn't
watched
watch
football.
last season.
I watched,
I didn't watch last season. Based
and I'm
on
okay with not being one.
yeah. Well, it wasn't even that for me. I didn't watch last season. I didn't like that. You can't kneel on the field. If you want to kneel, you don't have to
there's
come out the
definitely
locker
some
room.
stuff I
Right,
don't
yeah, all
like
that
about
bullshit.
It was really weird. They were trying to play the 50. So I was like, the NFL was whack for that. So I was like, you know what? I can't rock with that. When I saw that they were backtracking, I was like, okay, they moving in the right direction. They did some sort of donation last year, the year before, with like to some kind of police function. I was like, okay, that's what they supposed to be doing. And then once they got rid of that rule, and to me, them trying to pull in Jay-Z seems like what they're supposed to be doing at this point.
It's a business.
But this is
They're
what I
moving
need the
toward
NFL
whether
to do. Okay, this is what I really need from the NFL. Okay, we're talking about Jay-Z, we're talking about social injustice. I need the NFL to not let a fucking game end in a tie. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Okay, I don't care how long they gotta be on the field. A game should never end in a tie. Okay, somebody is a winner, somebody is a loser. We are not equals on this battlefield. Can we do something about that social injustice?
No.
Jigga? All
You gonna
right.
stop ties?
You want these niggas to play forever.
I don't give a fuck how long it takes.
Hey, they don't want that nigga arm and leg to fall
Winner
off.
or
As long
loser.
as it end in 52
Winner or
to
a
53.
loser.
That's fucked up.
A game ending in a tie is ridiculous. You keep playing until somebody wins.
Check this out. On the show, we do this segment called One Must Go.
Okay. It's me.
Hashtag Owen. No. Hashtag ONEMUSSGO.
One must go.
One
Okay.
must go. Some more. Monique.
Ooh.
Adele.
Ooh.
Melanie Camacho.
Melanie Camacho.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, but whoa. That
So,
was-
well, maybe I
first
should
of
put
all, that was
smiles.
hurtful.
Maybe I should put smiles in Melanie's place then. Shit.
I mean, I'm just saying because it's the Queens. And the irony
Who
of
was
this,
the fourth queen though?
it is crazy because I've met all of them.
Who was the fourth queen that I missed though?
Laura Hayes.
Yeah. Miss Laura.
Laura Hayes.
Miss Laura.
Miss Laura.
I should, I said that Melanie Camacho. Who the ball here leave?
Lunel.
I should have said Lunel.
Lunel
But you
or-
picked
or
Lunel.
Dominique.
Absolutely not. I would not have picked.
Okay, so fuck Melanie.
No, I already answered your question.
Don't be switching up, nigga.
I try to.
I already answered
One
your
must goes have to be difficult. Is the whole point.
That was definitely difficult. But I mean, you put three queens up against someone that was not included in that collective. But Melanie Camacho
but by
is a beast in her
all-
own right because she toured with Cat Williams, so she was a queen on that tour.
But
with
by
him.
all accounts, she was a
Melanie is
block
shit.
setter, a base setter. For
Oh, yeah,
you.
that
Melanie's
nigga
shit.
funny.
Melody's a
That
shit.
nigga definitely
What you
funny.
got? What you got, Ilfan?
I would have to go. What was the list again one more time?
Some more Monique Adele, Melanie Camacho. Well, I was trying to get Lunel in there, but
I would say Monique goes.
I will kick your ass.
And the only reason why is I think I've enjoyed more, like volume wise, more of the other ladies' comics. That's the only reason.
Get out.
But
You must go.
we paid.
We can talk about it. God
you know what? I'm gonna say some more, and this is why.
Get out.
Because some more. No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Thank y'all.
Real quick. But you,
Yeah,
but listen,
everything.
when you hear it, you gonna understand. I think some more is the funniest out of all of them. I think they're all like A's, and she's like an A+ person. So some more.
So is there a comedy goat?
I think there's more than one. I think it's unfair to say that there is one.
So you just answered my question with no, really. You
Is there
said
is there
a
a goat?
comedy
Is
goat.
there a superlative the best?
Is there a Michael Jordan of comedy?
Is there
I
Michael
think
Jordan
so.
of comedy?
Yeah.
I didn't watch basketball.
He's
The
the
best.
greatest. So
I
he.
thought LeBron was.
Yeah.
Or Kobe.
Okay. You know what?
I like
Now
that.
you- now
I
you
like
can
that.
go.
I don't know. I don't watch
I like
basketball.
it.
That's why the
And you got
reference escapes
Newports,
me.
you can go.
I like it though. No. And you got Newports.
And you
I mean,
Newports.
I think that it's, for me, I can't say that this is the best of everyone, because comedy, again, is subjective, but there are so many different types. You have observational comedy, you know what I mean? You have, like, people that do the political satire stuff. There's so many different types. Like, for me, it's absolutely ridiculous to
This is
compare
how
a
we'll do
Dave
this.
Chappelle to a Kevin Hart.
Bro, this is how we'll do
They're
this.
two different types of comics.
Your cub played 2K. I'm assuming.
I don't know what the fuck you played.
He played the game, though,
He
He
right?
played in my
He
face
played
and got his
basketball.
butt cut off. That's what happened.
Hey, yo,
Sorry.
that's amazing.
What was your question?
That's amazing. It
So-
doesn't matter what his question was.
So with sports games, every player has what's called sliders. So agility, speed, jumping, shooting. You know what I'm saying? In football, you'll have agility, passing, running, catching. So look at each comedian as sliders. So Jay-Z for me has most of his sliders are closest to 100 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you look at somebody that encompasses a whole bunch of things, observation, quick wit. I don't know what other comedian breakdowns would be like.
What, timing, like time between punchlines,
Right.
Depending on the audience, you know what I mean?
it's
Being able to adjust the audiences.
Right.
I don't think that's a fair. You know, life isn't fair. Fair is what you pick.
And Dave Chappelle to go,
but
fuck that.
I know Dave Chappelle is hands down one of my favorites. He's amazing. He's one of the things that makes Dave so good is that he's an intellectual, and I think that's what makes a good comedian a great. That's what separates good from great. There are some people that are talented, and there are some people that are gifted. Dave Chappelle is gifted. You know what I mean? Like that is like effortlessly. That is his purpose. That is what he is supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? There's just some people that they're funny and they're good
Some
at
niggas
that.
are good at comedic writing,
And then that's what I'm saying. Some people may be brilliant writers,
but can't do
but
the
you
jokes
get on
yourself.
stage
Right.
and it
Shout out Mooney.
doesn't work out. Who?
Mooney.
Mooney who?
Paul Mooney?
Paul
I
Mooney's.
know you, Paul Mooney.
No, that
what?
nigga's funny on stage.
Yeah, but I think that he.
Hold up.
No,
Paul Mooney what?
Hold up.
Oh, I get his point
Hold
though.
up.
No, 'cause
point-
we about to fight.
I get his
Paul
point.
Mooney was great on stage, but he was even better. Right.
I would agree
That's
with
all
that.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not
I would
smashing
agree.
shit out
You
of
know,
it.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Neil Brennan is funny, but he was a better writer.
I hate y'all.
You don't think Neil Brennan is funny?
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Well, you tell me. Do you see the point I'm trying to make? Like, is some people that are better
I don't see your
writers?
point at all.
Let me think.
this
You
is
absolutely
really.
don't make any sense whatsoever.
We just live
Okay.
video recorded a trolling. I don't know if you've ever
What's the
seen
dude? Mike
a
Epps.
live trolling.
Mike Epps to me is funnier acting than his stand-up.
That nigga new stand up
fair,
was funny.
but
No. He is
And
good.
he-
He is good. But I'd rather see him acting than on stage. There's some people that are better at one thing comedically than they are like some people good at acting but not good at stand-up. Some people good at stand-up but not good at acting. You know what I'm saying? Michael Blackson is good at stand-up. I don't want to see him act. No, real shit. Like I don't want to see
He just plays the same character on
Right,
stage
but he-
sometimes in these
All right,
movies.
so whose podcast is this? Is it your podcast? I'm just saying, like, if,
How the
like,
fuck you gonna do
how
that?
does he get there? Like, can you kick him out, or like, are we y'all gonna have a meeting?
Like
Like,
I think,
who decides?
yeah, I think you gotta vote
Because I
on
think
it,
he should go.
and then it's a secret handshake.
All right, we should. We
But
vote.
we gotta. It's another. It's two other people.
Because
And
I'm gonna
then-
be your friend no more.
Oh shit, nigga.
and then she trying to survive. Have a
Let me tell
survival
you something, because
podcast.
y'all probably gonna say all kinds of shit like 5-10 years from now. I think Ty Davis is great at movies, but I don't think he's good at stand
No,
up.
you can stand up, but you probably suck at movies.
First of all, you live my life. Okay. You know what? I'm good at throwing these hands.
Hey, yo.
No, I don't want no
You
trouble.
want to see
Please,
that?
I don't want no
kinda do.
spit.
I
I
You want to
don't
see
want no trouble.
that?
You know?
Okay. You want the smoke? I bring fire.
I don't want no
So,
trouble. Yo.
okay.
I don't want no trouble.
I don't play, bro. You want this work
No,
or no?
Yo,
Like,
when
I
the
will
niggas
do
start
this.
with the bros,
You from
Okay.
North Carolina?
fam. When the
You know what
niggas
I'm
start
saying?
with
I'm
the
a country
bros,
city girl at the same damn time. Like,
Oh,
you give me
man.
this work, okay? I'm sorry.
the country city girl. How
I'm a
you?
country city
Do we
girl.
want to do a smoking and drink before we get out of here?
I gotta go fuck somebody. I mean, I gotta go to church.
This episode is brought to you by condoms
I don't use
and
them.
dick pills.
What?
That'd be an ill
Gas station,
podcast
gas
too.
station dick pills. Gas station dick pills are the shit.
You take those?
I-
That's probably why
have.
you're wrong about everything you said. This
I have. Now, gas station dick pills, you know what they do? They make your back hair stand up on end, and you make you sweat a lot. Your heartbeat fast. And then you go burn up somebody's daughter.
I don't know nothing.
You should fire.
I can't. I don't.
Listen, you know how? Listen, this nigga ain't reach out to you. I did.
That's a fact.
Well, you're fired.
That's a fact.
Are we coming on
Should've
your?
done
Are we
that.
coming on your podcast?
And, well, he's welcome. You are not. You absolutely are not allowed to come to my podcast.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? Before we,
Plug some
do
shit.
whatever
Plug
I'm
some
supposed to
shit.
say. So listen, you guys can find out more about me. You know, maybe you guys don't know that. I'm sure that you guys have a large following. Just watch or
It's cool.
subscribe or
It's
whatever.
cool. I'll let you know.
But whatever. It's a strong possibility. There may be at least 1 or 5 or 10 people that have never heard of me before. So, you can find me in various places, okay? I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm an actress. I'm a radio personality.
When's
I'm a
your next
writer
show?
and producer. My next comedy shows are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. 4 of which are in the West Coast in Los Angeles, California, and then the rest are back here. But if you want to find out where they are, I post them on all of my social media. So on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, it's at comedian Ty Davis. That's T-Y Davis. Uniform across the board. You can Google me, Comedian Ty Davis. You can go to comediantydavis.com. You
Google
can go
me is
to
a
my
flex.
YouTube channel. It is a flex. I'm Googleable now. Boom on these hoes. I worked hard for that. You can go to my YouTube channel, Comedian Ty Davis. Maybe you want to check and see if you've never seen my stand-up. I have a couple stand-up clips there. I have my new podcast that started August the 11th. It's on Anchor. The link is in my bio on Instagram, anchor.fm/Ty Davis. It's also available on Apple and Google Podcasts, Breaker, and Pocket Cast as well. And it's each and every Sunday, unfiltered, uncensored. That's where you can find me. And Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time on DTLR Radio. Your fashion, your lifestyle. You can download the free mobile
Wait a
app
minute.
in your phone.
Nobody paid for that.
Hey,
Nobody paid for
y'all
that.
wanted me to come here? Getting this free
that's
Give
correct.
us
advertising.
our $5.
That's a fact.
This is why you can't do stuff with niggas. This is why you can't do stuff with niggas. Alright, so you download the app, or if you're in any of the 250 stores across the country, 19 states and the District of Columbia, you can hear me from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Download the app. So you can find me in a number of places. If you have cable, go to Comedy Central on demand. I'm on season 3, Heart of the City.
That's just
Kevin Hart
funny.
presents.
That's just funny.
There, and yeah, and I have some exciting new things that are in the works. Lots of shows and stuff coming up. So follow the journey and see what happens.
Is there anything exciting coming up for you that you can talk about? I know there's most likely something you can. Is there something you can talk about that's coming up that niggas might not know?
I don't like to count my chickens, my eggs before they hatch. I don't like to do that.
Fuck that. Crack them bitches.
Nah, because
Oh, wow.
then you crack them bitches and then they be like, what happened to the shit?
What nigga?
Well, I mean, what I will say is that the newest venture that I have. Well, I mean, I guess I can go ahead and say this. The graphics and everything aren't out yet.
You ready first?
But I will be making my debut in comedy in New York. I'll
Word.
just say that I'll be in New York in October. I'm
Venue?
making my debut. You don't get it all.
I'm good. Pause.
I'm making my debut at the Laugh Factory Comedy Club in
Dope.
Los Angeles, California.
Word.
Chocolate Sunday is one of the hottest shows.
Oh, that's
I'll be at Laugh Factory on Sunday, the Ha Ha Comedy Club, the Comedy Union. I'm out here. So, but I'm making my New York debut. I've never performed in New York. I've worked there as far as like radio and media coverage and shit like that, but never done stand up there. So, New York, I'm coming in October.
Before you go, what you think about these IG/Vine comedians?
I think that they have a talent and a gift in that arena. The internet comic is a genre as well.
I like that answer.
I don't fuck with that. Like, not in a sense that I think I'm better than it. I don't have that gift. I don't have the patience. And people need to respect the craft of the internet comic because the angles and the editing and the software that they're using to put that shit together. I got mad earlier trying to download a fucking video into Dropbox and I threw my goddamn phone across the room. So, that is not my gift. But that is a genre that needs to respect.
You were sitting there.
As
I
well.
like that answer. I
Right?
like that
You
answer.
sending,
But-
you sending the Dropbox to young Leroy that was
I
waiting.
think the internet comic, I think sometimes people confuse the internet comic with the stand-up, and they are two totally separate genres. Just like you have sketch comedy, you have the internet comic, you have the stand-up comic, you have the comedic actor. So everybody
And
has
the
their
comedic
own
writer.
place in
Shout out
their
my man,
own
Jamil
genre.
Salim.
So, but I respect what those kids do. The ability to push out that kind of that takes discipline, that takes commitment. I do not have time to sit 8 to 10 hours a day recording videos. I just can't. I'd rather write jokes for 8 to 10 hours a day instead of doing videos. I just can't. I get frustrated with technology. So they're talented in that. I can't do that shit.
Right.
But they ain't the only ones that went viral because my clip on Comedy Central did go
It
viral.
definitely got 1 million.
1.7 on Facebook,
I-
2.5 million on Instagram.
I actually watched it like 3-4
45,000
times.
on
It's
YouTube.
funny as
Don't
Talk
minimize
about
my
it.
shit.
Talk about it. We
He's
gonna
trying to
talk.
minimize my views.
We flexing.
We gonna retweet that today.
Yeah, he trying to minimize my views.
I know, nigga.
Because you think I'm a whore.
No.
Really quick.
I'm quit. Fuck it. I quit.
Yo, really quick.
Yeah.
On at the airport yesterday or day before yesterday,
Mhm.
I wore my Baltimore versus Y'all Horse shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Out
Shout out Harvey Dent. That's the guy.
Yeah,
If you don't
shout
get
out.
it from BaltimoreVersusYallHoes.com, you got a bootleg.
Yeah, y'all niggas be having
Oh.
the weird fonts.
So you got a bootleg. She said,
I didn't know they was bootlegging.
Yo, they got they got the,
I just saw somebody with a shirt on today. I was
like, why look at the verses? A lot of times the verses, like the bars don't be there
Yeah.
on the verses, or if they not there, they chunky. It's
if you don't
weird.
get it from
And then I saw
Harvey.
somebody wearing it at the Hall of Fame.
And that was,
Yeah.
it was official.
That was
That was
legit.
the official. Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep, yep.
All right.
Shout out Harvey Dent. Good peoples.
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't that the guy Two-Face from Batman?
Yeah, but
That's where he got the
DJ
name.
Harvey Dent. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, DJ.
See, I be
he
doing
make
shit.
shirts.
And he make these. This is dope. Fuck Donald Trump.
I mean, but if you think about it, you're still wearing Donald Trump on you, so.
Baltimore versus y'all horse. It's out of respect.
But you still wear Donald
I
Trump.
think, but if
If
you,
I was younger, you'd like me better.
Nah,
All right,
I
let's-
promise you I wouldn't. It is 100% certain that I would not like anything about you if you were 25.
Jesus Christ.
And I say
She's
that.
good with
I
heckling.
hate to watch like.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I be trying. You sure?
Sometimes
Okay,
you don't
you
want to be
insist.
looking
You know what I
directly
mean?
into the beat down. I'm gonna just look away. I don't want to see a nigga get beat
I'm not.
up.
Listen, I
I'ma
can't. I'm
listen
not a
to it.
good. I don't shoot the deserts real good, so I'm not even gonna play that game. Fuck.
Yo, no, I ain't gonna lie. When you and Red Dot was going at it, that was funny.
I fried Red Dot.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Shout out Red Dot.
Yeah, shout out. Oh, he hosted the African American Festival. I think it's this week or next week coming up.
Afram was already.
Not. I think it's. I don't know if it's the.
Actually, that already
Afram.
happened. What is he
Right,
talking
right,
about?
right, right.
It
You
was
late.
some festival he either hosted last
Alright,
week
I
or
got
this
you.
week coming up. He's
Oh.
doing well. As we wrap up.
Okay, so your social media one more time.
Comedian Todd Davis on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Uniform across the board. ComedianToddDavis.com, YouTube, all that.
All right, man. I am LFam790, your social media
This nigga
choice.
wrapped up our show, didn't he?
AKA the Anderson podcast, AKA Captain Bro Albano, AKA Blue Diamond Phillips, AKA Ficky the Dragon Steamboat, AKA Cheeto Santana, AKA Pod Shampire, God's favorite podcaster, AKA Potty Pipe from here to podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Dentine Nice, and my tag team partner.
Before I get into myself, and I love getting into myself.
Yep.
That's gay.
How can I be gay if I'm in myself?
It's a man in you.
It's GEIGH.
Okay. Where's Buffy.com? Where's Buffy.com? Where's Buffy.com? Where's Buffy.com?
Why y'all call it that?
Niggas, listen to the show. And Where's Buffy on
Outstanding.
Twitter. And Where's Buffy on Instagram.
Nah, it's Buffy. Fat boys.
Two fat boys.
Oh, Buff. Right, I get it.
Cool Buff love.
All right, go ahead. Do
You
your
fucking
thing.
up my outro.
I mean, that's how I felt when you interrupted my shit. You don't.
I
have
didn't
to,
interrupt your
right?
shit.
You definitely did.
What I said?
Keep going. Focus. Let's go.
That's what
Pick
she
up where you
said.
left off. Let's go.
That's what
Boom,
she
boom. Let's
How
go.
you doing this to me?
Because
Pressure.
this is how you build your chops in show business.
Wait a minute.
Take one. Go.
Where's Buffy.com?
Speak
Where's
up. They
Buffy?
can't hear you.
Sir, where's Buffy.com?
With confidence.
We're going to zoom in on your part in a second. Where's Buffy.com?
right.
Where's Buffy.com? And Where's Buffy on Instagram? And Where's Buffy on Twitter? Where's Buffy on Facebook? Discussion
let's
group.
go.
Listen, at Where's Buffy, all in your grandmother's part.
Wait.
But she out of somewhere. Listen, I'm Fatboy Diz. Fatboy _ Diz on Instagram. Fatboy _ Diz on Twitter. The fuck are you doing?
Yo, this is mad rude on
Jesus
the show. Like,
Christ.
you're rude to each other, bro.
Get out with you.
This
I
day
think y'all need to have a
Juno,
meeting.
the most finger waviest. It's not the Jono, it's the
Yo,
penis.
fight.
Johnny Cochran, if the glove don't fit, I will not hit. I'm not a normal nigga. I smoke cigars, I use rubbers, and sometimes I interrupt people unorthodoxically.
That is
Well, that's not
100% a word.
I think you should do better.
That is 100% a word now.
It's 100%.
It's new.
Unorthodox.
It just came out.
Listen, thank you
Like
guys for
Jordans.
inviting me. Do you know how long we've been trying to do this?
Since January.
Actually,
I
it was
remember.
December. Get your.
Well, I hit
Yeah.
you in December. You're supposed to come in January, and you,
I wasn't supposed to do anything but stay black and die, but continue.
my nigga,
shout out
and,
to
this,
Fuck.
and then hit me on Thursday like I ain't gonna be able to make it tomorrow.
Well,
'Cause fuck
because
y'all.
I'm a businesswoman, okay? And
And a
while I love the
businesswoman?
opportunity, I love the opportunity to
Can we get
talk
our
to other
receipt for
people
the night?
and all of that. But what I wasn't about to do is turn down money for something for free. But I'm not here this week.
It's
so.
all good.
You trying to make it seem like I ain't shit.
Fair, I'm just saying.
It took you months to book me, bro.
Nigga, you too busy.
And
then she did. So can we tell a story?
No.
Real quick before you go.
Right.
So we went to book a Baltimore comedian.
Give a name.
Her name?
Name it.
She's famous.
Who is it?
Her name is famous.
She's hilarious.
She's
Her
hilarious.
name is famous.
She's
Okay.
pretty hilarious.
You
So
trying to book a comedian for what?
for the show.
For this show?
Yeah. And so,
Okay.
so I hit her manager, and the dude was like, "Yeah, she's excited to come on your show." I'm like, "That's what's up." And then she opened up for a way bigger comedian, and I never could get in contact with her.
That is how it goes.
There's
Timing
a
is
strong
everything.
possibility you niggas will never be able to reach out to me again. I'm just playing.
I listen.
Sure.
Hey, when you did, but
I sure
hold
hope
up though. No, time out. When you did Hard in the City, I'm like, damn.
It's a wrap.
It just.
Nah, I
I
mean,
thought it happened again. I swear to you, I thought it happened again.
I did too.
nah, I mean, I'm still here. I mean, I'm not out of here. You know what I mean?
No. But when you did, I said,
Yeah, it's gonna happen. No, that's
another comedian.
Like we knew it.
Blew up on our.
Yeah, we like, dang, we missed another one.
Nah, I mean, nah. I'm not now. It would, but again, it took so long because of the scheduling. You know what I mean?
No.
I was like, fuck, I got a show, and like if somebody would hit me like, hey, yo, Ty, I need you to do something, I'm like, shit. You know what I mean? Like,
No doubt,
I'm not turning down the bag.
No. You
Right.
know what? Fuck that.
And we already had that
Pre-
pre-recorded.
But I told you.
Which is why I hit you like
Right.
5 times this week. Like,
But I hit you
nigga,
today.
Nigga, you coming?
That's why I got to a certain point today. I was like, you know what? If somebody hit me, I'm not taking on work. Like, hey, we still doing this?
We
Cause
appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
100%.
appreciate you
We
coming
absolutely
through. Thank
appreciate you coming
Really
through.
appreciate it.
thank y'all for having me. I really
Listen,
No doubt.
anytime you need niggas to retweet, put out folks on
Yep.
what you're doing, let us know. Anytime you feel like coming back, wide open. That is what we do, man. Where's Buffy? At Where's Buffy on all social media, man. Holla at niggas, man.
Adrian Broner, take us out, Doug.
I don't know what that means.
It's gang. If I don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you.
Well, I think it's their choice, isn't it?
Man, gang. You know what that means? Gang. Take the L out of lover. It's over, brother.